Okay, well, we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this video, and it's about prepping for retirement. Before you're a year out, we're talking like 10 years out, to be ready for retirement, and things you can do to set yourself up for success when you retire. Um, you know, Retiring is a big decision. I mean, it requires thought, research, and lots of discussions and a lot of conversations. So I thought, you know, uh, let's have a conversation about it because realistically, it is a big step, of course, and it has a very a good piece of finality to it. Um, so I think the thing for because like I retired early, or I retired younger, I guess. I retired at 48. Um, and the things you can do to get ready for retirement, and when I got ready for my retirement, was specifically getting ready to transition into full-time RV living, travel, etc. So our biggest thing and our biggest decision was selling the oversized house. Um, we decided that the house that we had was for the family. It was for 4 to 5 people. It was a big house. It had, it had 5 rooms and 3 washrooms and a big garage and things like that. So once um, our kids had, flown the nest, and it was the two of us, we decided that, okay, well, we don't need a massive house. The two of us just need, what we need. So when it came to making the decision to downsize the house, we were lucky enough that we were able to downsize it right up to when we wanted to start full time. We didn't need to downsize from this big house, buy a small house, and then sell that one and then get the RV. We were lucky enough that we could transition straight across. So that was our biggest decision, was deciding to get rid of this monster house, and that's what we did. We went back and forth with the idea of, maybe we should sell this place, buy a small place, and have it in the as a home base, and then we'll have the RV thing, and we'll travel for a couple months and see if we like it and stuff like that. We decided on just saying, you know what? We know that this is what we want to do. We've been planning it for well over 6, 7 years. Let's just pull the trigger on this and do it. So that's what we ended up doing. The other things that you can do to be ready for retirement and full time, and if you're not going to full time RV and it's just a retire, you want to watch this for the retirement info. Perfect, because in retirement is all part of it. The biggest thing, sorry, not the biggest thing. Another thing that you can do, and a lot of people probably chime in and get a little bit mad at me when I say this, but do not continue to support your adult children to the detriment of your retirement planning. And let me just clarify what I mean by that, because I'm sure some people are going to be freaking out. I'm not saying it's wrong to help your adult kids, because they're going to be adult kids, I would think, by the time you retire. There's nothing wrong with supporting them, but do not put them ahead of everything that you need to get your retirement lined up, financially especially. Because once you retire and you're on a fixed income, whether it's a pension or investments that are, that are working for you, money put away, etc., that's not the time to be sheckling out the money when you aren't making any more money and you're on a fixed income. So, yes, take care of your family, but don't put them ahead of what your goal is when it comes to retirement. Uh, I guess another one for me would be the expensive toys that become burdens. Um, the things that you have right now, and we're just saying, like, as of today, we're looking ahead 10 years, we're going to retire in 10 years. The toys and the hobbies and the stuff you have right now may potentially be burdens in the future. So take the time to evaluate what you have, and then figure out if you really do need to keep these things to be happy when you're retired. If you're a hardcore motorcyclist, or you love classic cars, or you're into fishing or golf or whatever, if you have a lifetime hobby that is, for a fact you're going to be doing it when you retire, sure, plan for that. But look at things from the perspective of, like, do I really need these things 10 years from now to make me happy when I'm retired? Am I going to need all this stuff? And that's, I mean, you got to look deep inside yourself and decide whether that's what you want to do or not. But that's something you can look at. Um, I had I had thought about something today, actually, about it, and I was thinking, if you have two cars, if you're like, say it's a husband and wife, it's you and your wife, or you and your husband, whatever, your spouse, and you guys have two vehicles. I wouldn't say sell the second car right away, but I would take some time, 30, 60 days, and live without that second car. Like, don't use it. See how difficult your life will be not having that second car. Now, I get it. I mean, you're probably still working, and that's fine. But this could be something you could do when you're very, very close to retiring. You could say, okay, let's just take a look at the second car and see, do we really need it? And when if it's not costing you anything, if it's fully paid for, and it's yours outright, um, give it some time once you retire and see if you really do need it. And if you've been retired for a couple of months and you find that you just don't really need it, then get rid of it. You know what I mean? Or sell it and turn it into something that you want. Um, and that could be something you could do for sure. Another thing that I think it affects a lot of people that are in a professional environment: doctors, lawyers, police, military, places that have a hierarchy, rank, um, things like that. Holding on to your professional identity, um, is something that it takes. I think it can be extremely hard to let it go, I guess, would be the way I want to put it. When you've been Dr. So and so for 30 years, all of a sudden you're not Dr. So and so anymore. I mean, you're just Mr. So and so, or you're Steve, or whatever. It's not saying that you lose it, but for a lot of people, it's their part of their identity. And I get that. Like, if you're military and you retire and you're at a certain rank level, and you go from a certain level, I guess, a respect level, acknowledgement level, whatever you want to call it, to a different place. So that can be very difficult. Um, I wouldn't say, you know, throw it away. I'm not saying that, or shut it off, the next morning. It'll work its way out, I guess, would be a way to put it. Um, but it is a transition. It can be difficult. So that's something that you need to look at as well. Um, and I guess the last thing, about the retirement prepping and stuff like that, is I saw a layout on another YouTube video that was actually very interesting, and it was like a three-step thing, and it was, um, when you look at possessions, if you look at material things, and I guess it breaks down into three things: whether it's, does it serve a purpose to the new life, the retired life, as it did when you were working, um, and by keeping it, is the cost of it, whether it's a vehicle and there's insurance, there's maintenance, stuff like that, is the cost of it worth it to keep it in retirement? Are you enjoying it in retirement the way you enjoyed it when you were working full time? Um, and if if you let something go, is it really gonna have any kind of consequence to you? If you sell that classic car, is it gonna just destroy you? Or if you sell the fishing boat or whatever, um, you have to look at those things as, like, yeah, I was right into it for so long, and now it's kind of like, meh. The novelty of it is kind of worn off. So is it really going to bother me if I get rid of it? So that's something you have to look at for each item, and that could be like a 60 or a 90-day test of your stuff. It's kind of like, if if you're not using it, why are you keeping it, kind of thing. So maybe take 60 or 90 days and see, like, oh, I went golfing once in 90 days. Maybe I don't need to have, a golf cart and four different sets of clubs and all the stuff that you had when you were working. I mean, that's something you could look at. But um, like those are just a few things from me, like what we went through getting ready for retirement. And I think I'll leave it with just an opinion. This is my opinion thing when it comes to money and retirement, and I'll be talking about this a lot more later on. And it's a lot easier to spend less money than it is to make more money. You know what I mean? Like I get that there's side hustles and there's part-time jobs and all this kind of stuff, but you can instantaneously spend less money sitting at home. You can cancel memberships. You can, cut down on do I really need to have like a massive phone plan that's $200 a month? Why don't I just drop it down to $100 a month and not worry about having all that extra data or whatever the case may be. It's easier to say to spend less than it is to make more. That's that's the way I look at it. So anyway, I'll cut this off, and hopefully you'll get something out of this. And we're gonna live stream every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And the topics are gonna change, but they're still gonna be RVing and retirement centric. So hopefully you got something out of this, and we'll talk to you later on. Bye.